Gio?
Sino si Gio?
Gio?
Si Gio?
Si Gio.
Okay naman siya. Nag-aaral, matalino.
He's got everything planned out.
Magaling siya sa academics.
Jesus, matalino yun eh. Friend ko yun. Very proud.
Sipag ni Gio sa ACADS.
Hi, my name is Gio, and as they have said, I am as precise and as accurate as humanly possible. Well, you guessed it. I spend most of my time studying a lot of art books because I want to be the best in my field. You know, I really want to be in the likes of Michelangelo, Rembrandt, Da Vinci, even Picasso. And the way to achieve that dream is to be as precise and as accurate as humanly possible. That's why I study all the time. I spend most of my times here in the library, where I find it my personal sanctuary. I believe that each of the books here represents a technique that is just waiting for me to learn. It was here where I learned about the different geometric shapes. The first one, rectilinear shapes, or shapes made from straight lines. One of the examples of rectilinear shapes is a square. We know squares and cubes represent stability. More than that, they represent the epitome of definition, sometimes perfection. It was here where I found out how amazing the pyramids are. Did you know they used to be holding grounds for the mummified remains of royalties in Egypt? More than that, triangles represent stability, danger, eloquence, equilibrium. Although, a lot of people are scared of triangles, probably because of its sharp edges. Maybe it can cut them. With all the buzz about the Illuminati, we see the geometric shapes making a standout performance in the front lines of controversies as they become occult symbols.
Pero palagi siya nag-aaral.
Hirapan ako makipag-relate sa kanya eh.
Snob niya.
Hirap sa kulay samahan. Masugit.
He's better than everyone else.
Ang nerd niya.
Kasi hindi siya approachable eh.
Maingay Di siya friendly.
Unfriendly? Snob? Ako? Hindi naman ako ganyan ah. It's just that hindi kaya nakukulong ako sa sarili kong schedule. Hindi. Alam nyo, iniisip ko minsan na parang curvilinear shape yung buhay ko. Every day, routine lang. I wake up, I go to school, I learn something new, I go back home, I sleep. The next day, the cycle begins again. You know, circles represent eternity. But I don't want to be stuck in an eternal cycle. Circles represent perfection. But you know what? Perfection is overrated. Perfection is boring.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. And by now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. Well, I don't believe that anybody feels the way.
Hey, my name is Dylan. Being out here with nature. It's just so beautiful out here because of the infinite number of biomorphic shapes it possesses. Biomorphic shapes are all derived from living organisms and nature. Everything from the tallest trees of the forest and the leaves on their branches to the smallest insects and the designs of the wings are all part of biomorphic shapes because they are art in nature. Much of the beauty of nature comes from the biomorphic shapes of growing living things and how it is constantly changing in its environment. biomorphic shapes can be seen anywhere. These plants, the sky, even this cat. Hey, kitty. Many famous artists use biomorphic shapes in their artwork. All works of landscapes, human sculptures, and even architecture based on nature all fall into this category and can be said to be the most appreciated and popular of all the shapes.
Today was gonna be the day, but they'll never throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you're not to do.
Pero the sad truth is, with all these friends I have, feel ko, they just like me because I'm popular. I just want some friends na like me for who I really am.
We have to walk a winding, and all the lights that lead us there.
Ako, si Frida. Isa akong free shape artist and isa rin akong estudyante dito sa UP Manila. I believe that the greatest thing in life is freedom. And also friends. You gotta have some friends. Pero ilan lang ang meron ako. Well, yan. Si Dilon. Isang biomorphic shape artist. Very popular and highly appreciated. I wish I was more like him. Ako naman, wala lang. I've tried biomorphic and geometric, but they just can't represent my subconscious the same way free shapes do. People say I'm weird, but that's probably because I don't conform to the rules. I do whatever I want, whenever I want. Huh? Pangit? Hindi. Hindi pangit ang free shapes. Diba? Hindi talaga nila ma-appreciate ang free shapes. Kahit gawa naman to ng artist. And let me even suggest fantasy and whim. Pero pangit nga ba talagang ginawa ko? Hindi. Oh, si Dylan. Buti ba siya, oh. Tingnan mo, sobrang saya. Walang problema. Tsaka marami pa siyang kakilala. Ang dami niyang kaibigan, no? And he's highly appreciated. That's what I want. I wish I had that. Pero bahala sila. Basta ako, I will follow the footsteps of the two great artists who inspired me to do art. The first one is Juan Miro. In 1925, his work took a decisive turn, stimulated by hunger-induced hallucinations involving his impressions of poetry. These resulted in the artist's dream paintings. Miro explored surrealist automatism in these canvases, attempting to freely transcribe his wandering imagination without preconceived notions. Although these images are highly schematic, they are not without references to real things. To quote Miro, "For me, a form is never something abstract. It is always a sign of something. It is always a bird, a man, or something else." And the second artist who inspired me to do free shape art is Vasily Kandinsky. His late works are marked by a general lightening of palette and the introduction of organic imagery. He turned to the softer, more malleable shapes used by Paris-based artists associated with surrealism, like Juan Miro. Kandinsky's late, often whimsical paintings were also influenced by the playful, intricately detailed compositions of his longtime friend, Paul Klee.
I cannot tell
Surrealist automatism was developed as a means of expressing the subconscious. In automatic drawing, the hand is allowed to move randomly across the paper.
Guys, may sasabihin ako. Alam niyo ang awesome ng cubism kasi sinasabi dito, the universe can be represented in 3 shapes. The cube, the cone, and the cylinder. Yung optical art nga ni Vasarely and Bridget Riley, may mga geometric shapes na parang mathematically precise ang pagkakagawa para magkaroon ng illusion na gumagalaw sila. Di ba ang awesome nun? Makikita talaga natin na geometric
Huh? Anong sinasabi mo, Gio?
I'm talking about cubism.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care about cubism. Tingnan mo ang art ko, oh. It's my new work. You know, I tried using surrealist automatism for this. Tingnan niyo, oh. Di ba maganda?
Di naman yan maganda. That's trash.
What do you mean trash? Maganda kaya, di ba?
Hey, don't bring me into this.
Ano ba tong sinasabi ni Jan? Sobrang nakaka-hurt na talaga. Hindi ko talaga siya maintindihan. Ano ba to? Insecure? Alam niya na nga na marami na akong problema eh. Tapos dadagdag pa siya. Ang sad talaga.
I did not say it was trash.
Ganyan ka naman eh. Pareho lang talaga kayo ni Gio. Hindi niyo ako ma-appreciate. Hindi naman kasi maganda yung art niyo eh. Insecure lang kayo. Tingnan mo nga na
Talagang
maigi
hindi
dyan.
mo magets,
Baka
no?
hindi mo lang makita
Hindi
yung
kasi
beauty
yan
nito
maganda.
eh.
Hindi nga masabi ni Dylan sa'yo na hindi siya maganda. Eh, sasabihin ko sa'yo, hindi siya maganda. Hindi siya precise.
Mag-aaway ulit sila. Ito na naman tayo eh. Guys, huwag kayong mag-away. Guys, huwag kayong mag-away. Hindi natin kalaban ng isa't isa. We're just artists trying to be brilliant someday. And we can't compare our art because it's different from each other.
Well, he has a point. Oo nga naman. Kasi nga we have different styles and so we can't compare them. Just like dimensions, like in 2D or 3D art. You can't compare a 2-dimensional art with a 3-dimensional one. That's because flat or 2-dimensional forms are found in decorative patterns. They're also found in paintings and they're just on the surfaces.
Tama nga naman ang sinasabi niya. For us to grow as artists, we need to look 3-dimensionally. Hindi lang sa length, sa width, kundi dapat sa depth ng mga tao o ng mga objects. Alam niyo, yung figurative paintings, nakikita talaga natin that they jump out of the easel.
We can combine our shapes to form a masterpiece. Di ba sabi nga ni Sir Red, one of the properties of shapes is closure. Shapes are said to be closed when they are self-contained and highly integral with the forces in equilibrium. Kailangan din nating integrate ang sarili natin to achieve equilibrium. And this is our closure.
I want to go. I still have class. Come on, please, don't let me. Please.
Jan, sige na, halika na.
Punta ka na dito.
Huwag kang KJ, bro.
Kumain ka na free.
Guys, kailan natin gagawin yung HUM2 video? March 17 na yun tapos kailangan pa nating i-edit, kailangan pa nating mag-dub, ang dami pa nating gagawin.
Pero I have to say marami talaga akong natutunan sa HUM2. Kasi like, kung titingnan natin, we learned about geometric shapes, biomorphic shapes, free shapes. Diba, ang dami talaga natin natutunan.
You guys know what I love about HUM2? It's the expressionism of shape. It's when shapes become expressive of concepts, values, and emotions. Like Picasso's painting, The Blind Man with the Guitar. And the intensity and concentration of the blind man's playing is conveyed by the elongation and attenuation of his form. And his other painting, A Woman Ironing, where the sensitive red line tracing the high and bony shoulder and going down the length of the thin arm, pressing the flat iron, conveys the painful strain and fatigue, the oppression of woman.
What I really love about HUM2 is when Sir taught us about cubism and how amazing artworks can be made out of geometric shapes. I mean, an artist that is capable of doing that must be very precise and accurate with his measurements of their specific shapes. But even though they're very precise, they can make abstract paintings out of these, which is even awesome. I mean, parang humihitit ka ng drugs.
bahala kayo. Basta ako, what I love about HUM2 is our very own professor, Mr. Atong Redillas. Ang gwapo niya kasi. Pero you know what? Ang favorite lesson ko sa HUM2 is yung shapes in folk art. Shapes are present even in folk art. An example of this would be the baskets made by folk groups. These baskets are made from different materials found in the environment. Bamboo is the most commonly used material due to its rapid growth, fineness, purity, resilience, and strength. But among all materials, the coconut midrib provides the strongest structure. The Cordilleran group, for example, is known for their sophisticated basketry traditions. Their baskets have flared or tapered sides to accommodate areas of greater stress. The baskets are constructed in a way that the weight is not concentrated to one area. Other folk groups fashion finely crafted bags for personal use. Some of them even embellish these with bells. Others make use of bright colors. Most of the ornamentation has to do with light and dark contrasts, whether in employing the same material or by alternating inner and outer skin, or using differently toned materials to create various designs. Color plays only a secondary role because dyed materials would not stand well to the wear and tear of daily use. Originally, basket weaving and its related forms were used to mediate between people and nature in an animistic worldview. On another level, these motifs stylized natural forms locate people as part of nature in which they share the common vitality of all living forms. By the way, guys, I'm leaving for New York next week for an art exhibit.
Oh my gosh,
congrats.
congratulations!
Congrats, Peach.
Thank you!
You know, nakapasok ako sa Cambridge School of Arts and Cubism.
Oh my gosh,
congrats din
really?
dyan.
Ang galing mo, ah!
Galing mo, bro.
Sobra! I'm so excited for my
Ay,
exhibit.
kailan yung leave mo? Kailan ka aalis?
Next week nga? Ano ka ba naman?
Kailan nga? Anong date nga eh? Ano ba?
Ano pa next week? Nakalimutan ko kasi sobrang excited na talaga
Oh my gosh!
ako.
Ano, next month ako
Sobra.
aalis for Cambridge and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
Grabe, alis na sila. I finally found my true friends, and then this happens.
We live in a world where we all exist in different planes and different dimensions.
We might encounter differences, challenges, or obstacles that hinder us from figuring our way out.
But at the end of the day, we must realize that we're all still part of this giant canvas we call life. And that wherever they may be, and miles away, I know that I found my true friends.